Hi, I'm Jeannie Fritsch. I am the host of A Day of Light and Love 2020, and I am so happy that this event is happening again this year and that I can invite you to join us. Now, this is our fourth year. Many of the contributors give their time and have given their time on Christmas for the last 3 years, and this will be their fourth year. Some, this is their second time with us. Some, we have some brand new voices and stories to share, but every one of the women that have decided to come forward and contribute again or contribute this year, they each bring a message of light, of love, of hope, and of grace. Hope for the future. Overcomers, huge overcomers, amazing servant leaders, bringing their missions and their messages to the world. And they pause on Christmas Day just to give a contribution segment for anyone who needs to hear their message. And I am so thrilled to be able to invite you again to this event. We are streaming it live through a Facebook event. And so I will share that link somewhere near this video. You will see that link. You will want to click it and you will want to say that you're going, because then you can receive the replays if you cannot be live for the event. But please do share this with people that you know. My own story and why this event came about: back in 2016, I was having a conversation with a then coach, and I was sharing how my life had been impacted at the first Christmas post-divorce. So I was married back for a short amount of years, but enough amount of years to establish some traditions and for my young sons and myself. And this particular year, I was not going to see my sons at Christmas. They were going to be with their father, and new traditions were being born and formed. And there's a death of old tradition whenever you have the death of a marriage, when you have the death of a spouse, even someone close to you will impact you. When my own husband, so now my husband and I have been married, I think it's 34 years. And we have some beautiful traditions that we've created. And it becomes really important to me, of course, to create those for my children, for my grandchildren. But A Day of Light and Love was inspired by a friend of mine back in 1985, when she invited me that first Christmas to come to her house for dinner on Christmas Day, knowing that I was going to be alone. And she knew better than I knew. I had no intention of taking her up on her invitation. I pretty much told her that I was just going to spend Christmas by myself. And she called a couple of times encouraging me to come. And I said, no, really, I'm going to be fine. I'm going to be good. I'm going to spend it by myself. And Betty was an amazing friend. She and her husband, Ernie, opened the door to me a good hour after their dinner had ended and invited me in. And I had shared with them a cup of hot cocoa and some cookies and some really great conversation for probably a good hour and a half, almost 2 hours. And they filled the void of my Christmas, and they just did it because they cared. And so that story came to me in 2016 when someone I knew was kind of going through that situation. And I thought, wow, my life is so full today. My future is so amazingly bright. But I remember that feeling of being alone. I remember that feeling when Christmas had lost its luster. I remember the feeling of not being able to be with the ones that I loved and cared about the most. And I thought, wow, what can I do? And so the Day of Light and Love was born, and this is our fourth year. And all of the women that will come and contribute to that day are amazing women in their own right. And they're even more amazing because they are giving so selflessly of themselves on Christmas Day. And so the event starts at midnight Eastern Standard Time, the 25th of December, and it will run all the way through the end of the evening. And so I thank you for being a part of our event and for sharing it, because there's many people that will benefit from any number of the messages that they will receive through our event this year.